Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be doing the final part of analyzing what was said in Callum's TikTok live, where he speaks about Brandon and how Brad wasn't seen searching for Jay once. Also, Callum says there were more people at the Airbnb than we think.
Jeopardise it, but it's a known, reputable organisation. What's your thoughts on Brandon? Was he mentioned much? Not really, no, he wasn't really. The main ones were Lucy and Brad, to be honest. Was.
So while Callum was doing this TikTok live, I thought I would ask some questions that would try and give us some more information. So first, I asked if Brandon was mentioned much while Callum was out searching for Jay. Callum responded by saying that Brandon was hardly mentioned and that Lucy and Brad were the ones who were talked about the most. This is interesting because if Brandon wasn't spoken about that much and wasn't involved in what happened to Jay, why did he feel the need to change his social media, hide from everyone, and not speak about the case at all? I don't think Brandon has spoke about Jay at any point throughout this case, not even a post to say rest in peace once Jay was found. This is strange because from what Callum says, Brandon didn't get talked about as much as Lucy and Brad did, and Lucy and Brad didn't start changing their name like Brandon. So what was the reason for this? It didn't stop people talking about him, and we all still knew who he was. I just can't understand why Brandon went completely silent and didn't speak about the situation at all. Not only that, but Lucy and Brad didn't mention Brandon either, and it reminds me about the situation with Ayub, because Jay's friends and Rachel were very reluctant to speak about Ayub. Also, Rachel cropped Brandon out of a picture she uploaded, which included Brad and Jay. It was like she was trying to leave Brandon out of the story and acted like he wasn't there. It could be a possibility that they all knew Brandon played a big part in this case, and to stop the truth from coming out, they decided to keep Brandon's name out of the conversation when it came to Jay. I just think it's very strange that the person who was talked about the least was the only one who tried to hide and not mention Jay at all.
Did you ask Lucy and Brad why they didn't go to the pin ASAP? I did think that was a bit suspicious because from when she originally said she had the call and stuff like that, and then there was also, this is where the stories have changed a little bit. There was then also mention of a FaceTime, and then there was also mention of another phone call and a message. There was quite a lot of mentions of different things, which I'm definitely going to look into. Did you ever feel scared? I felt scared sometimes. Yeah, it was terrifying. What was Brad doing when everyone was searching? Well, I don't know, but he wasn't fucking searching, I'll tell you that much.
Callum talks about why Lucy and Brad didn't go to Jay's location to go and find him straight away, which is one of the first things that made us very suspicious of them both, and the phone calls Jay made are very confusing. It might not be the truth, but what we have been told is that Brad had a video call with Jay at 8:31. Then Jay ended the call with Brad because someone else was ringing him, and we don't know who this person is. It could have been Lucy, but it isn't confirmed. Then we have Lucy, who spoke to Jay at 8:50 apparently, but it says 8:44 in the screenshot. Also, Brandon called Ayub at around 9 o'clock to tell him that Jay was missing. Then we have rumors that Jay allegedly called Lucy on the 19th of June, but I still can't find a screenshot of that call, so that isn't confirmed. All of these calls need to be looked into very closely because the amount of lies involved in these phone calls are very worrying. Someone then asked Callum what Brad was doing while everyone was searching, and Callum confirms that he doesn't know, but Brad was definitely not searching for Jay. So Brad found out his apparent best friend was missing and didn't go and search for at least 2 weeks. The only time we see him up in the mountains was when he'd done his interview, which was a mess. People have said that Brad was searching because of a picture that Warren posted on TikTok of Brad in the mountains, but this was the day he'd done the interview, and he probably only went to the mountains for that specific reason. We know this because the top Brad is wearing in Warren's video is the exact same top that he's wearing in the interview. So that doesn't prove that Brad was out searching for Jay. He could have just gone to the mountains because that's where the interview was taking place.
That explains it. Do you think anyone else was at the Airbnb other than Jay?
I do, because there's 3 voices on that video, 3 totally different voices on that video that Ayub released.
So there was a group at the B&B, but I don't believe that Lucy and Brad were there because their phone pings were checked.
But just because a phone's somewhere doesn't mean a person.
Know where they made the call from. They might have been there before, previously.
But how do they prove who made that call? How can you prove who made a call and who?
Phone number. You can't make.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, you can't prove who's.
Nothing's arrived yet. It's all coming off Amazon.
You said there was a group of people at the Airbnb. So do you mean there was extra people apart from Ayub, Rocky, and Jay?
From what I know, yeah, because if you listen to the story, when you listen to what Ayub and that say, they say that somebody dropped them off and all this stuff, but then it's like the car was then seen there apparently. But this is what I want to look into further because I've got a contact from one of the houses up there, and I want to clarify it. But I think personally, I'm going to say that, yeah, there was definitely more than them there.
The next question I asked Callum was if he thinks anyone else other than Jay was at the Airbnb, except Ayub and Rocky, obviously. Callum does say that he believes there were more people at the Airbnb, and because someone who was actually in Tenerife and was speaking to the family has said this, there was clearly no confirmation that Jay was at the Airbnb with just Ayub and Rocky. Lola talks about the video and is confident that there are 3 different voices in this video. And to be honest, it does sound like that, but I definitely think there was more people at the Airbnb than we were told. And if that is the case, then Ayub has lied along with Rocky, and also Rocky might not have stayed at the Airbnb anyway. We don't see him inside the Airbnb. All we see is him in the car looking like he's asleep, or pretending to be asleep, because we can't trust people who have lied about the case. Callum is sure he has enough information to work out the truth, and I just want to big up Callum for trying to seek justice along with the rest of us. Seeing as he was actually in Tenerife and is the only one who is saying how he really feels about the case, I believe we have a better chance at finding out the truth, or at least some information that can lead us to the truth. So let's see what happens. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will update you as we find out more.